Okay, lines 340 through 364. Venus speaks to Aeneas. Some of the lines we skip. Um, Venus hears Aeneas's speech to his men and how he feigns hope and is really actually hurting on the inside. That kind of ancient practice of Roman Stoicism coming out. So she talks to her, in this version, her father, Jupiter, and asks for his help in securing safety for her son, Aeneas. And Jupiter essentially just reassures her and says that Aeneas, by fate, is destined to be um, a hero that will whose descendants will rise to be the Romans, and she has nothing to fear. Kind of elated by this, she goes down to speak to Aeneas in the form of a Spartan huntress. Aeneas, meanwhile, and Achates go out on an exploration to figure out the lay of the land here where they've been shipwrecked. And the two here, or the three, I suppose, Achates, Aeneas, and Venus, all encounter each other. And this is Venus now in disguise as a Spartan girl addressing Aeneas about where is this place? Who lives here? And so she tells him about Dido and the Tyrians, now the Carthaginians. So she says, Dido rules Imperium, this empire, this power. Dido Profecta, having set out separation urbe Tyria from the Tyrian city, the city of Tyre, fleeing her Germanum, her brother. Longum est injuria, long or even great is her injury or her injustice. Longi maybe sunt ambages. Long are the digressions. The story, it's a long story, but sequor, I will follow, deponent verb and also future first to say the rest are e. I will follow summa fastigia, the high points, the highest points, rerum of the things, of the matters. So here we go. To this woman, to Dido, there was a spouse, a husband, Sichaeus. He was Ditissimus. He was most rich, Agri, of farmland, of the Phoenicians, Phoeniciorum here, syncopated. And he was moved, Delectus, by an amore, by a magno amore, by a great love, uh, genitive of objective genitive, a great love of a wretched woman or for a wretched woman, to whom Dido's father had given her in Toktam, had given her untouched or as a maiden. And he had, I think this is shortened form, right? It's probably this. He had yoked them with primis omnibus, with first omens, or this is wedding vows here is what's meant to be said. So the father had yoked Dido and Sichaeus in first wedding vows, but her brother Germanus, he was Habibat, he was withholding here maybe the powers of Tyre, essentially the right of power. Pygmalion, the brother, was withholding all this. Uh, let's see, he was a Manior. He was rather savage. Yes, very, quite savage in his crime ante alios omnes, before everyone else. Quos inter, hyperbaton here, that flipping going on. Between them, Dido and her brother, Pygmalion, a fura medias, like a middling or a splitting or a divisive anger came. That man, the brother, Pygmalion, oh dear, let's see, rather impiously before the altars, and and also Kaiku's blind with a desire or a lust, even auri, objective genitive for gold or of gold. He secretly with iron, synecdoche, meaning a sword. He secretly with a sword, superat, he overcame, or here even just killed, an incautum, and modifying Sakaeum up here, an incautious or an unawares or a caught off guard Zacchaeus. He kills him before the altars. Oh my. securus, like without a care, without even a concern, referring to Pygmalion here, the nominative form, without a concern, genitive of the affections, Germani, of his sister. So completely ignoring the fact that his sister is married to this guy, he kills him. For a long time, Dio, he Kelawit, this is Pygmalion, he concealed factum the deed, and our next action for, well, I suppose Simulon's here, pretending the bad man, the evil man, pretending Malta many things, faking many things. Lucid, he played, he eluded his Igram Amantem, his lovesick sister. Vana here, I think, is has a macron over it. He played her with false hope, but uh, Imago, a ghost itself of inhumati conjugus of her unburied husband. So the ghost itself of her unburied husband. Then it came in a dream. Atolin's bearing or lifting up a pallida ora, a pale face, modis miris, this interlocked word order, right? Yeah, uh, bearing a or raising a pale face with or in miraculous ways. He Nudawit, the ghost here, Sichaeus, revealed um, uh, the cruel altars and his chests trajecta pierced through by iron. He protects it next. He reveals or uncovers uh, every kaikum, every hidden crime of of their household. Then swatted or persuaded even he persuades maybe Dido. He persuades Dido, Celerare to hasten flight, excadere, and to depart patria. Probably a macron over this a to depart from her country. And as a help, you're in a positive to this thesaurus down there, as a help for her journey or of her journey, he reveals Veteres thesauros, ancient treasures. He reveals those treasures into Lure in the land, ablative, or in the ground. Ignotum pondus, an unknown or a forgotten even weight, argenti et auri of silver and gold. Kamota, moved he by these things or because of these things. Dido, Parabachi was preparing Fugam, her flight, and her allies. Her allies here gather, I assume, or they all gather, Dido included. Those for whom either maybe like there was a cruel disdain of the tyrant of Pygmalion, or there was a fierce fear of him, of Pygmalion. Naves here is the accusative form I stems, so the ships, which Forte by chance were prepared, or yeah, maybe even had been prepared, they took these ships and they weighed the ships down with gold, auro. Let's see, the opes here is our subject, the wealth, the resources, portanter, or rather the resources of greedy Pygmalion were carried Pelago on the sea. A woman was maybe Arat or is the leader, a woman as the leader, Phakti of the deed.